All right, gentlemen, how can I help you?
All right. So, got a lot of the feedback and information from your and Brad meeting and started implementing a lot of that already.
Good.
USA Homes listings, we just started up with them. Should be getting our postcard here soon.
Now, are you going to have them when you do that with the USA Homeless? Are you going to have them doing all the mailing and everything, or are you going to?
Yep. I'm going
Okay,
to start by letting them do it. And then if we get to a point where we feel like we can mimic it successfully, we'll do that. But,
okay,
at least start out seeing it done the right way,
yes,
and then
smart
go.
move. Okay,
Yeah. So yeah, doing that. We're getting,
let me ask you, sorry, before you get with your question, to give you a
yep.
chance on the USA Home listings. What is your target audience?
So I just got into the account, so I haven't messed around with it a whole lot, but I know it's varied by zip code, and we have some target zip codes, of course, that we really look for as they like, pretty much my big strategy that I've been using really is I put in 200,000 and up on home value, and I pull up Zillow and Redfin, and I see where the most pins are, you
Okay,
know. And I kind of really target the areas where the most real estate movement seems to be happening.
all right, good. So
Um,
is the medium price range for the higher end, is it 200,000 and more in your
for the
area?
higher end, no, I like to kind of start around there for the family homes and everything like that. We get a lot of small moves as it is, so
Well, you don't want to stop what you're doing, what's being
right,
successful so far. You
yeah,
just want to increase it. So, like I told Bradley last time, you want to use the Pareto law to your advantage.
yeah,
The reason why I asked that question is because, like in my area, a higher end, medium priced home, higher end, starts about 130, 145,000 and up. So I
okay.
was just wondering what yours was their thing. But if you want to start
Yeah,
at
okay.
200,000, then
Right now it seems to be 200,000. I would definitely say like 2 years ago, even 150. I don't know. It's just how's it high right now, but that's generally what I look at.
okay.
But
Man, you guys are living in
I
some
can lower
cheap
that down even.
areas.
Yeah, I can lower that down, of course, some too. Yeah, I just did that all with the idea that more family homes or larger family homes would pop up. But
Right. The one thing I would
I'll just let my
probably
dog in the room. I'm
consider.
sorry.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
All right, calm down, Lilith. All right.
One thing that I might consider if I were you, just because we are coming into the winter time, is
Yeah.
probably lower that down to like 175.
Okay. Yeah.
Just so that you can have a little bit more volume and ability to get better returns
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
it's winter time. During the summertime, obviously you'll want to crank it up to 225, even
Right.
250.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt your video, but I just wanted to talk to you about how you can make $30, $40, $50,000 in the next 30 days. That's right. 30 to 40, $50,000 in the next 30 days. All you have to do is follow very certain precise directions and strategies, and you could be making up to $50,000 in the next 30 days. Almost guaranteed. Now, how are you going to do that? You're going to join the Seven Figure Moving Academy membership group, and you're going to have access to everything that we have inside the membership group. This includes documents, this includes contracts, this includes terms and conditions, this includes credit card vouchers, waivers that you will actually be able to use to protect your business, as well as you'll be able to network and communicate with some of the biggest and most profitable moving companies in Canada and the United States of America. So these people are there to help you make your business bigger and better than you ever imagined. And I'm there too. You will also have immediate and 24/7 access to me via this group anytime that you have a question, all you have to do is use the group. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not, hey, you just do this, plug and play, and you can sit back on your couch and smoke a blunt or something. No, 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 no. This is you actually having to get up off of your derriere and go and do something. But by doing these very easy 1, 2, 3 steps, you could literally make an extra $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to your business income if you follow these specific strategies. I invite you to come to our membership and become a member. Now, we have annual membership and we have a monthly membership. If you take the annual membership, you'll save a lot of money. If you do the membership access, it's less than $1.50 a day. I mean, you can buy coffee from a gas station for less than that. Okay, so guys, go to sevenfiguremovingacademy.co/membership to find out how you can become a member of the 7-Figure Moving Academy and join the 7FMA family. Thank you, guys. Now back to your video.
I did look at your website. Yeah, I would improve it. But
Improve the website.
yeah,
Okay.
it's there's some things on it that I'll just give you a couple impressions.
Yeah.
Strong ass mover. The first thing I see is the picture, right?
Okay.
And I love where the quote form is. I could really care less about seeing the home services, locations, about us. That's really distracting. I know a lot of people do it, but it's really not needed. Just put the free estimate. You got a free estimate button and then the quote. So it's kind of redundant. The phone number should be a lot bigger and like right in the middle. And then the picture, it's a guy in a mask.
All right. That hasn't been updated since like the beginning of COVID.
And that's, it's pretty blah because everybody uses that thing. And it's really not going towards, it's really not speaking towards the result of the move, right? Like I was telling Bradley, you want to sell the result, not the thing, because basically every moving company's got that same kind of picture, right? So that's not what you want to portray, especially if you're going to start promoting to the higher end executive homeowners. That's not what they want. They're not, when you're marketing to them, it comes and you look and feel and operate the same way as everybody else, then you're a commodity. You're nothing more than an apple. And when it comes down to a commodity and apple versus apple, it comes down to the price. So you want to make yourself stand out. How do you make yourself stand out? Promote to them. Make the website about them. Everything needs to be geared towards what they're going to get, what they're going to receive, what they're going to experience. You can talk about your services, but how are you going to talk about your services in a way that makes it about them? Because right now, this website, it's all about you guys. You. Does this make sense?
On. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And there's a time and place to talk about you, and that's the About Us page. Right. And even then, even the About Us page should be about them, right? You should, you want to give them your mission, but why does that mission, how does that mission affect them? How does that enhance them? Now, Brad said that you, Kirk, you're a little bit of a video guy. So
yeah.
Get your crew out there, get them in a uniform, and make some videos. Get some testimonials from your best customers, and put it out there, and tell them how great you are and why you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Video testimonials are some of the best testimonies you can get. One, they're not faked, right? So it's like you can go to any website for movers for the most part, except for Works there. And I wish I could show you mine, but you can go to a mover company and you'll see testimonials. Well, great, testimony is great, but I can write down a testimonial and put somebody's fake name against it. But
Right.
but I put up a video, I can't fake that. You see
Right.
what I'm saying?
That makes sense. Absolutely.
Right.
And then so that was like that brings us to another part is so I mean we've been doing kind of what works for us or what has worked for us for lead generation. And you know, as I'm now taking more time to kind of to do more research and where I should be spending my time, like a lot of it staying in different areas. How did you split up? Like, what would you consider how your pie was as far as your marketing time or resources went, from stuff like Google to video ad versus maybe like, you know, magazines is something we're looking at. Like, is that an idea?
Magazines are hit and miss, and it's really because, and the problem with that is that it's like a billboard. You just
Right.
never know who's going to see it. Now, I know the magazines will try to argue, well, if a magazine's on a table, that means 4 people will see it and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're going to see your ad, because there's
Right.
going to be multiple ads, you know? And if they're just like, if it's at a doctor's office and they're just thumbing through it, their eyes are glazed over. You know what I mean? So can they be effective? Yeah, if the person needs a mover, happens to, you know, who's in there, you know, go, oh, you know, yeah, we're moving. Oh, look, there's a moving ad. Maybe they'll rip the ad out or take a picture with their phone or something. That's only if they need it. So it's kind of I wouldn't personally do it, right?
Right.
Unless it's really super, 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 super cheap. And then I would use, if I was going to do that, then I would make sure I got a phone number that I can track through like Cloudflare or Flare or whatever it is. But you can get these tracking phone numbers.
Yeah, call rail, yeah.
Yeah. And just get a bunch of tracking and then have that ad thing so you could see where you know, you can get the tracking data from how many people are calling that particular phone number.
That
right?
particular phone line.
And that's one way, because one thing you should be doing is keeping really clear notes, like very specific of like what, you know, and every call that comes in, you should be asking, how did you hear about us? And that should be marked down. Was it word of mouth? Was it a real estate agent? Was it a mortgage broker? Was it from a radio ad? Did they, you know, was it from a Google ad? You know what I mean? And it said, oh, I saw you on the internet. Oh, that was great. Where at on the internet? Was it Yelp? Was it Angie? Was it Thumbtack? Was it, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And some people are going to be able to tell you and some people are not. But the more precise that and granular you get with those statistics, the more you'll be able to expand and scale the business rightly. And you'll be able to spend the money correctly versus going, okay, well, I've got $10,000 here. Let's just throw it against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah. Which has been our
that's the problem
strategy up till date. No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then in your operations, were you using an in-house sales team? Was it just you doing the sales? I mean, like, how are you handling the leads when they were coming in?
Most of the time it was me. Towards the end, I did get a salesperson. And then this is why you should not be on the truck at all.
Right.
You should obviously, you know, go and check up on the guys every once in a while, do like spot checks and every once in a while, making sure, you know, just make sure your customers are taken care of, but you should be out there, you know, flapping the bushes. But it came down to me. I think the question that you're trying to ask is, what was the most effective marketing and sales avenues? And I'll tell you, the most effective, the most bang for my buck that I got was my postcards.
Okay.
I got the biggest postcard that you can send out with a first class stamp that you can do. And it was I had it professionally designed, and I made it sure that it matched my colors and my motif and all that. So 4x5 postcards, not really effective in my opinion, but hey, maybe you'll be different if that's what you're doing. Me, I'm going to get the big one. You don't need to get all the fancy gloss because people are they're going to throw them away once they're done with them. It's not like they're going to keep them and post them up. So you don't need to get
You're right.
the UV coating and all that shit, you know. You just don't, you know. Maybe a nice semi-gloss on the top, but you really don't need to get super fancy with it, right?
Okay.
Definitely 4-color. You want it to pop out a little bit. That's why maybe it's a nice sheen, but you don't need to get the UV coating and all the basic plastic front. You know what I mean? It's just a waste of money. Unless you have the money, and then you can do it, definitely. Because that'll give it'll add to the quality.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be judged by your customers based on the quality of the stuff that you provide. But at the same time, you got to like go, what's going to be effective versus quality.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. So postcards are definitely going to give you the biggest bang for the buck. The one that's going to give you the most volume for the buck will be Google ads, and YouTube ads. And Brad and I talked about the YouTube ad last time.
Yeah, that he's telling me about that. No, it was actually, I heard about the YouTube ads, and it made absolute sense.
I can't wait till we get that commercial.
Yeah, so my big thing is, like he told you, I'm in the film industry, indie film industry. I got a network full of filmmakers.
Our manager actually made a whole movie. So
right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you going out there, you're going to save all that money because you can do it all yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as commercial, I mean, I can create a lot of production value for a little buck. So,
I mean, my particular, if I had it do it now, right? And I would do like a picture. I would show like a nice family, a beautiful, beautiful woman, and a good strapping young man, with maybe a couple of young kids, like in their 30s, professionals, you know what I mean, that are moving, that will go out and you can see them on the back porch or looking out over a valley scene on a porch or something. They're sitting in on the backyard, we're doing a picnic, and then I would show them there and how they're all fit, happy and stress-free, and it's all bright and sunshiny, and butterflies and unicorns are jumping around. And then you would pan out and then towards the house, and you could see your movers doing the movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
And doing it right too, not like just doing the draping rate. And that right there, just imagine the visual juxtaposition of that. You got the family out having a nice little Trandilic picnic in their the backyard of their new home while the movers are moving, and they're not having a care in the world. That's what I'm talking about. That juxtaposition.
Okay. And that makes a lot of sense on changing the focus, because I guess the brand is, is a little egotistic all in itself. We don't need to tell you, so we could, put that attention though on the result though, and what's going to be delivered instead of, hey, we're a great moving company. It'll be,
because
hey,
everybody says we're a great moving company. Everybody, I said I was a great moving company,
right?
But guess what? That that didn't make me different from a great moving company. You know what I mean? I mean, if I compared myself to Eric Works, who has like 20 trucks and is making multi-million-dollars a year, you know what I mean? Eric Works a good friend of mine. That's why I use him. You know what I mean? I'm not even in his league. I was never in his league. Right. Quite honestly, you should be listening to him more than you should be listening to me. But the point being is, I modeled especially once I got to know Eric and Greg and all those guys over there. I started listening to what he was saying and doing, and my business just went boom. Right. And that's great. But the point being is I had to differentiate myself from everybody else, right? Like Eric Works is a flat rate mover. Great, awesome. That's his USP, his unique selling position. I didn't like doing that because it left a lot of money on the table. I would do it for long distance moves just because I found that I could get better by giving them a flat rate, guaranteed price, guaranteed rates and stuff like that. I could use the word guarantee in my price, in my quote, right? But for the local companies, I couldn't use that same thing. So I had to use a different tactic. And what was my tactic? My tactic was that I had to sell myself in a little different manner, right? And that you're going to have to figure out for yourselves what that uniqueness is that sets you apart from the thing. You know, everybody says, oh, we got highly trained people. Oh, we got the best equipment. Oh, you know, we're this, we're that, we're awesome. So what's going to set you apart? You know, for Eric, it was flat rate pricing. For others, it might be, you know, the owners on site on every move, you know. Right. I'm not suggesting that because that gets that becomes unscalable. But for some moving companies, that is. But if you're just trying to set yourself like up everybody else, then it just comes down to price, and that just makes you a commodity and not a service.
All right. So pretty much sounds like, you know, we should be seeing an influx here. These postcards, playing those around, playing different zip codes, and you know how we're targeting them.
I found that it took about 3 to 4 weeks before I started seeing a result of the postcards.
Okay.
Google ads tend to be a little bit more right now, and I like Google ads because if you go for the right keywords, and you go for the typical keywords like movers and, you know, that stuff. But I was telling Bradley last time, some of the keywords you should be going for are keywords that show intent to move or buy a new home, right? So I would go and find out, like I would talk to a real estate agent and go, hey, are you using Google ads? Yeah. What keywords are you using? Because what are they looking for? They're looking for new people that want to sell a home. Right. Mm-hmm. So they've got to look for people who are looking for intent to buy a new home or sell their home to move. Right. So in that aspect, if you copy what that's doing, for instance, and I told Brad, if you watched the last video, one of the keywords that people are, what is the best neighborhoods in such a community? Right. What is the top 10 neighborhoods in the Cincinnati area? What are the best schools in the thing? What are the best activities for kids in, you know, Erlinger or whatever, you know, wherever you're at, or Covington or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Those keywords show intent. Like they're intending to move or they're intending to go in that area, buy a home, rent a home. That's showing intent. And that's what you want to, those are the keywords you want to target. And the reason why I say that is because none of the other movers are targeting those keywords. So one, those keywords will be really affordable for you. Two, you'll be able to get to the prospect faster and quicker and before everybody else and their brother does. Right. So you'll be the, you know, first in line. So and in a lot of speeds, speed is what will get you the best and most bang. Right. So that's why I really suggest that you look at you and Brad should sit down, do a Zoom call and go over and make out a list of the most keywords that you guys could come up with. And then if you go to your Google Ads guy and go, what is the volume of these? Because your Google guy can go, yeah, this is a good keyword and it gets good volume, blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes you don't care about the thing. Even if it got one,
but the quality of it is so good that it's not about the volume at some points. Yeah, I get that.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to communicate. So you just try to go and then run them and then again, make sure either you or your Google guy is keeping just nitpicky stats on that. Right.
Okay.
And then and then make sure that those campaigns that you're running are working, right? And the good thing about the Google YouTube ads is you could take a video, a 3-minute video or less, and really target and put your videos on very specific videos, right? And you could go by demographic, by the best videos. So I mean, what
the
I know
YouTube advertising, I never thought of that. So yeah, I'm super interested to hear about, how you ran that.
you could get you could put your video on a very specific video regarding that area. I would try to find a video that talks about maybe about the Bengals or the any of the sports teams down there. Maybe they got some videos that accepts ads, and then you put your ad on that video. So when it shows up, there's your ad, right?
Right.
Or you could do a video ad, and so you could do both. You could do a text or text picture ads, or you could do video ads. Video ads are going to be more bang. There might be some of those, and then try a couple of video ads that are only just a few seconds, because sometimes people will click off if it's not relevant to them. But if you could do like a 20-second or 15-second ad, video ad that they have to see, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Make it a little funny.
Yeah. Well, humor. If you read any kind of marketing book, the humor is the number one selling vehicle that sells on commercials. If you look at commercials, most of the commercials try to be funny.
Our name is built on it,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
flexing donkey, you know what I mean?
The donkey head.
Yeah, awesome. Then lean into that. Into that.
Awesome.
But also, lean into that. Make a couple of funny videos. You know what I mean? Make a couple of videos where the words are being bleeped out. That could make somebody go, "What? What did they just say?" It doesn't have to be a serious video. But if you look at most of the videos, most commercials on TV, they're trying to be funny.
Right.
Right.
And I'm sure we could tailor a lot of those to the type of video we're posting them to, like a domestic abuse videos and stuff like that will have a more serious tone, maybe not so playful, but, more helpful in how we are in the situation or, in a home.
Exactly. Obviously you want to, match your videos to, some video, if you just put it and it's a blanket and it's thing, they're just going to be put on whatever. And that is what it is. But if you're targeting specific videos, make sure your video is appropriate to the
audience.
Yeah, I have found we do get an oddly large amount of domestic abuse cases. I think just because the name and branding. But so we've thought about tailoring it out to.
So
give it
I mean, some of those family trees just don't fork.
You got that in Bourbon County. You mix the two together.
The blue people.
Oh man, anything Hazard County. Oh man. So I tell everyone, they're like, "Oh, you're living in Kentucky now, aren't you? Cincinnati, southern Cincinnati."
I mean,
it's on the Kentucky side of Cincinnati. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're living on the Kentucky side of Cincinnati. Where the men are men and the sheep are nervous.
Good stuff. Oh man.
The men are men and the women are too.
Man, we got the donkey man. I don't know if this is
and I mean, obviously, when you're going for more executive homes, you could what is their interest? Where are they going? They're going to be members of golf communities.
Golf community is a big one. That's for
golf communities.
Yeah.
You're going to be, they're going to be the schools are going to be bigger. They're going to drive Mercedes and Bentleys and such and such. So just
advertising around the areas they are and the places they're going.
Right.
That makes sense.
I mean, one thing I think would be funny is you you just go get like a big rusted out pickup, right? Get a couple of toothless friggin' rednecks, and then make a video of like how people could hire those yahoos over, and you just go, it'd be like the old commercials between the PC and Apple, those old commercials, remember those?
Yeah,
Hi,
absolutely.
I'm on PC. Hi, I'm on Apple. And you could just have, hi, we're strong ass movers. Hi, we're Joe Bob. He's got meth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
Just kind of show your stuff versus their stuff. That's a great juxtaposition, and be funny about it. You know what I mean? And that could be seen. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do.
But play with that. Those avenues seem to be the best pay for play areas, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, you're in the video business. You're a filmmaker, so use your creativity, my man. Be funny, be irreverent. Oh man, some of the things you guys could do, if you've got the time. I mean, shoot, get your guys to come up, sit down with your crew, and say, hey, what would you think would be funny as shit? What would get us on the 5 o'clock
kids, bro.
We have a company roast group. Literally, we have a whole chat group where everyone just burns each other all day. It's terrible, but it's the healthiest way to get it all out there, I find. So
exactly. I mean, I would go. My question is what would be the funniest thing you guys could come up with that get us on the 5 o'clock news?
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna dress up in a muscle suit with a donkey mask and surf on the highway on a pickup truck.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hopefully the cops don't arrest me.
If you do, that's automatic news coverage. So
I'm not even joking about that. That's actually kind of cool. Friggin' strong ass movers pulled over because they're friggin' car surfing on their truck. You know what I mean? I mean, that would be hilarious. But I'll just tell you, some of these ideas, even though they're kind of funny and maybe a little, inappropriately dangerous. I mean, K-Rock, there's a radio station called K-Rock out in LA. I used to live out there.
Okay, good. I believe we have a K-Rock here.
K-Rock would actually had these contests all the time where you come up with the best things that wasn't illegal or could potentially kill somebody, yourself or somebody else. But these people would be friggin' painting the freeways. They would be like shining like big picture, like big projections on buildings. One guy painted an airplane and had it fly over the 101. I mean, they did and the people who did these marketing stunts, it was just and they got a huge amount of press, thing like that. And, another thing doing that, but a couple other things that have been very effective for me, and I know has been effective for other movers. There's a mover specifically down in Memphis that I'm thinking his name's Preston, not Preston, sorry. No, his name's right there on the tip of my tongue. I can't do it. Damn it. But one of the things that does is he does a lot of volunteer work. And that's another way to get you guys in your names in the paper, as well as a lot of good free will. So, I mean, you're talking about a lot of domestic violence things. If you did that for free, or at a very, very, very reduced expense, basically, just pay for my guys' time, kind of, I mean? Give us $100 so I can pay my guys or whatever. You know what I mean? That's a great way to get your name in the paper. You might have to do it and you might have to promote it, but it's a great way to get yourself on in the news. Toy drives right now. It might be a little late to do them, but doing toy drives, things like this, doing things that's going to help out in the community, and then adding in humor on top of that, right? I mean? And just make sure you invite the thing, come up with some ideas, for like, let's say the new year, come up with a plan for the new year. You got a couple of months, come up with a New Year's thing for like the day after New Year's. where you guys will go around and you collect a bunch of, I don't know, shoes,
Trash or something.
trash. Yeah, you do a New Year's cleanup, right?
Improve a neighborhood, get in the neighborhood, little
Yeah, like
bulletins and stuff like that.
yeah, go and do a
I got it.
cleanup and or go take your trucks and take your crew guys on a big snow day and just go into a neighborhood that's with a bunch of elderly people and just start shoveling snows from
Oh,
people.
that's not a bad idea, actually, since winter's coming
It's really
up.
not.
That'd be a
I mean, one of our
wow.
like right now we've been doing extremely well. A second area outside domestic abuse is, of course, our we have a good nursing home partner. This lady who runs the nursing home pretty much refers us to everybody that moves in and out of there. So we get like
Great.
3 to 5 moves a month from her.
Good. We'll go into the nursing home then and go buy a bunch of decorations, take your crew in, get your husbands and your wives and your girlfriends and your boyfriends, and just go in there, get a bunch of, make it a party, and go and say, hey, we'd like to come and decorate your nursing home. Free. Just
make it nice and Christmassy.
Nice and Christmassy. I mean, and then invite the press. Bring in people with, some eggnog, some, apple cider, some hot chocolate, have some Christmas cookies, whatever. Buy them, bake them, do them, whatever. There's a lot you can do that will enhance the community. It's not giving back, but it's a way to make your name well known and looked upon fondly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it doesn't have to be expensive, right? Like going to a neighborhood and shoveling snow. Even if, you don't want to shovel snow because then go to a rental place and rent like 3 or 4 snow blowers and you do it and just do it for free. Don't even ask permission. Just go and do it. Just take it, put the snow blowers in the thing, have 2 or 3 crews and just go and, you guys clean up some snow blowers to blow the snow off and stuff and just Merry Christmas or, Happy New Year, whatever it is. And invite the press. Invite the press. Hi, we're going to go and we're going to be going to the thing and we're going to be going to such and such a neighborhood. We're going to be there from this time to this time. And we're just going to plow snow out of people's driveways for free. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And then have them come and interview.
Right.
They would love things like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's use the press. I was not on my strategies before, but I will.
But that's another good strategy. Another strategy is obviously get out there, start networking, start rubbing elbows with every influencer in the area, especially real estate, mortgage brokers, home inspectors, things like that. Drop off every once a month or every 2 weeks, drop off some wine or beer or, cookies or coffee. It doesn't have to be expensive.
I'm a hobby coffee roaster, so maybe I could roast a homemade fresh coffee beans from imported countries for them.
Oh, perfect. And put your label on it.
Yeah.
And drop it.
Oh my God. Wow. Put the
strong ass coffee, bro.
Strong ass coffee.
Strong ass movers coffee. And put your label on it and then do it once a month, get a little gift basket, take it to all the real estate offices or a bunch of them, go to the bigger ones, especially the ones that in your best demographic, go to the luxury apartment buildings, drop it off, things like that, storage units, have your own coffee. What a great idea. You have your own brew. You know what I mean? You could have the strong ass flavor, or you could say, cheap movers aren't cheap flavor. And, if moving was easy, your boyfriend would do it. Blend.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would also make a great gift too. If you do all these big, the larger moves. Hey, here's a bag of our strong ass movers coffee. welcome home. You know what that would do to your
coffee's not very expensive either.
Yeah, it's
to
cheap.
make it. Yeah, to make it from roasting. It's
The biggest expense would be the branding
beans.
and the packaging.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that could set you apart. Literally, that could be the one thing that sets you apart. And another thing is cold calling. Cold calling.
Okay.
If you're not cold calling, you're not serious
are
about
not.
being in business. I'm just telling you. You could do all the stuff I'm telling you and get great results. But if you're not cold calling, you're not going to every to the demographics and going to every house that has a for sale sign on it and dropping off a little care package or information package, you're not serious. You're just not. And I'm not going to say you're going to fail, but you're missing out. I'll tell you what, I made so many sales just because I went to moving sales. I went to every house that had a for sale sign and I just knocked on the door, right? And if they were home, I say, hey, I'm Jay, I'm with Strong Ass Movers. I see that you're selling your home. You're probably going to be considering moving. Have you talked to a mover yet? Oh, well.
That's a good thing. Maybe Ian could do that, Kirk.
I mean, both of us, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it to do that? I mean, no, we haven't talked to a mover yet. Well, I'm right here. I can give, if you've got like 20 minutes, I would love to do a real quick walkthrough and give you an estimate of what we could possibly do for you. If not, let's schedule a time for me to come back. That I made so many jobs just by doing that, especially when I was first starting up. Right? Going up to storage units, going to luxury apartments, to managers to the luxury apartments. I didn't deal with the regular other ones. I went to the ones that like it cost you money to still be there, right?
Yeah, actually.
Talking with the managers and just doing that, and you know what I mean. And I kept going back. I didn't do it once. I kept making the rounds, right?
Absolutely.
There's a video that I share on my group, which I didn't do the video, but I share the sentiment. It's by a guy named Max Mayer, who owns a moving company out in Arizona called Skinny Wimp. And he actually documented and actually put it on a spreadsheet, his experience of going to over 500 different places in 30 days and how much money. And the guy made $30,000 to $50,000 in 30 days going to 500 different storage units, luxury apartments and stuff. 500 in 1 month. That's the power of just going out there. And all he did was drop off a couple. He didn't even do anything special. He just dropped off his business card and a couple, maybe a flyer or two, and that was it. But $30,000 to $50,000 consistently a month that this guy does, just from that one action.
That's like double what we're doing. Just
I'm telling you, you're not serious if you're not cold calling.
Wow.
Speaking of cold calling, were you ever getting like lists from anywhere? Is there anywhere you went for phone numbers or lists, or mostly just the stops?
I went to Zillow. I went to my area, like, okay, what's my target demographic?
And then just went by.
And then I just go, okay, good. I'm going to hit, I'm in Grand Ledge, which is just a suburb of Lansing, Michigan. I would go, okay, good. Here's the Zillow listings. And I would just copy down the listings on a yellow pad. And I would just go to every house and I would just drop off information. And then if there was a storage unit in the area and I passed it by, I stopped. There was luxury apartments, I stopped. You know what I mean? And I just
know your territory and make rounds. Yeah, it makes sense.
And then I did that I made sure that I was personally doing 200 different stops every week. Because it comes down to the number of people you talk to, number of calls you collect. And the more statistics you keep on that, the more you're going to find out, okay, I know that I need to talk to 100 people to make such and such amount of sales, right? Okay. And then it comes down to like, okay, it comes down to clockwork. What do you got to do? And you just, how many doors do I have to knock on? How many people do I have to talk to? And it just becomes,
That makes-
and then it's not a matter of like, oh, we're not making sales. You know how many sales you're going to be because you know you consistently. If I knock on and I go to 500 places every single month, I'm going to make $50,000 on average, guaranteed a month. It just comes down to that granularity, right? That's why you, Brad, really need to get down to those statistics. Those statistics are everything. I mean, you could take a horrible salesperson and just go, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and this. Here's your checklist. Talk to 100 people, right? Knock on 50 doors, and just have them keep track of it. And he'll have consistent sales no matter how bad of a salesperson. That's how sales isn't hard. I was a horrible salesperson, but I knew that if I talked to so many people, I went to so many, I did these specific actions, my sales would go no matter what, no matter how horrible I was.
Yeah.
And that's the problem most of the small moving companies run into is they don't do that.
Yeah,
right? They
absolutely.
think they're looking for the magic bean or the giant, the golden goose that's going to give them that perfect marketing strategy. Well, the perfect marketing strategy is doing the things that
pounding the pavement.
Yep, pounding the pavement, doing what works every time and consistently do it. Do it every single time in a new unit of time, right? Because if you do it robotically, it's not going to work. But if you go with the attitude, every person's new, everybody's different, and you go with that, it's going to happen, and your sales are going to blossom. So you guys are hopefully got a good CRM like Smart Moving or On Cue or some.
We have On Cue.
That'll go a long way to help you with your statistics. But the more you can get those statistics down, the better. The more statistics you can get. Every single job in the position of your org board should has at least one statistic that is measured. I don't care who it is. I don't care.
We have stuff set up now that's getting worked on. So we always have.
Right. Yeah. Moving Derek into operations, his primary task is going to be, every crew's now got job forms they have to fill out, how much supplies were used, inventory lists, what was the total fuel miles, so we'll have a good idea of, we should be able to look down to everything of here's our average number of miles per job or average fuel costs, average this, etc.
And the more granular, the more specific you get with those statistics, the better and easier it will be to take the company to the next level. Not only that, it'll make it easier for you guys to actually then systemize and processize your business so that you can actually turn it into a franchise if you want to. Yeah, or heaven forbid, 5 years down the road, you guys can turn this over to somebody else so that you can live the good life and not actually have to be at the shop if you don't want to. Heaven forbid you might have a vacation.
What is that? Oh my God, Evan.
Because I don't know, maybe I'm wrong and I could be off my rocker here and I could be totally blowing smoke out my ass and it wouldn't be the first time. But I'm pretty sure you guys didn't create this business so that you guys could have a job.
No.
Right.
No.
No, if I was doing that, I'd be an owner op,
Right. So I would
have just bought a truck and just been in it myself.
You guys got to figure out what your exit
logistics. No, but yeah, absolutely.
And the way to do that is, statistics. Statistics is going to get you there. That is the secret ingredient to scaling a successful business. Right.
Awesome,
and you can read about that in, the E-Myth Revised.
That's a good book.
The 60-second CFO, 60-minute CFO.
60 minutes.
Talks about that in the traction books. So, I mean, really, there is no secret. Everything out there is just putting those secrets together from all the different sources that are out there. Some are free, some are paid. But all the information out there. It's, nobody has a monopoly on the information, believe it or not. Sadly, it's just some people know where to find it, some people don't. And then if they do find it, they know how to implement it. So hopefully I've given you some clarity.
All right. Well, it's been a lot of information. Got a lot of notes here. Appreciate you again for your time here, and we'll continue to be in touch as well. As we're putting all this stuff together and everything, we want to do something, semi-consistent, just looking for always opportunities, or even if it's with other, crew, like Derek or something like that in place. And then as we open up other locations and stuff like that, something continuously going on.
Very good.
So that insight, I appreciate you for again. And
Not a problem. I'm glad I could help.
I hope I could, we have a conversation soon, and I get to say, hey, look, I did all this shit, and you made us a shit ton of money. I mean, we're gonna have to have a steak dinner or whatever, whatever.
Hey, I love steak. I just can't have a lot of salt. I had congestive heart failure, so I can't eat salt anymore, but I love steak.
All
All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll let you guys go. Have a good night.
You too.
Thank you again.
All right. Bye-bye.
Take care.